you're enjoying the show, don't forget to support us. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more. Your star ratings and reviews help others discover our podcast. So take a moment to share your thoughts. We appreciate you, and let's keep the conversation going. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to ADHP. That's Attention Deficit Hyperactive Politics. Will you please welcome your hosts, Doug Robinson, Todd Sellers, and Brandon Popson.
Hey everybody, welcome back into the Attention Deficit Hyperactive Politics. I'm Doug Robinson here as always with Todd Sellers and Brandon Popson. Todd, Brandon, how you guys doing?
What's up?
We lost. The Mariners lost today, so you know.
Yeah, I was hoping to open this episode with saying the Mariners are going to the World Series and have Todd subtitle the live stream, Mariner post game, and draw in a bunch of listeners that way and trick them into listening to politics instead.
Yeah.
But no avail. The Mariners shit the bed again.
Yeah, it's a Seattle tradition. I hate to say it. I love my Seattle teams, but good God, we might as well name every single Seattle team the Seattle Blue Balls, because that's what they love to do to us.
Oh man.
Yeah, even the Seahawks, who actually won a Super Bowl, you can't think about the Super Bowl they won without thinking about the one they completely blew the next season. Can't have nice things in Seattle sports.
No. And we're the only one left without a pendant, that makes it hurt even more.
I mean, the Mariners are they kind of have already lost baseball, being the last team to ever make, the Tampa Bay Rays have made a World Series,
the
and the Mariners
Cubs,
haven't.
The goddamn Cubs. They finally got
the Cubs
one.
at least have been around forever. They went to a World Series back, 100 some years ago.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. We never make it that far normally.
We're still the closest we've ever made it. Got one more try Monday night, so we'll see. We'll let you know next week if the Mariners. We'll break the news a week afterwards after they've already been swept by the Dodgers.
What do we think is going to happen? I think it's going to be a very hard battle uphill to get our momentum back. I felt like we had a shot there, but I felt like if we couldn't get this one, it's going to be very difficult to win this next game.
Yeah, I think we'll be looking back on those back-to-back innings with bases loaded and one out and back-to-back double plays. That's probably going to be the end of the season right there. But this is not a sports podcast, as much as I might try to make it that. We are here to talk politics, and of course, the big story this weekend was No Kings 2.0. Did you guys make it out to any protests?
I did.
I could
So
not.
Todd did. Brandon, you said no.
No, I couldn't.
My Saturday was I had to be a dad all day Saturday. I didn't even get to watch the Husky game on TV.
I had to work. We were already down a couple people at work, and I couldn't leave my coworkers kind of stranded like that. I wanted to go. I had even donors telling me about clients and stuff telling me I should be there, but I was like, I can't. I got something to do here.
So Todd, tell us about your experience. Where did you go, and what did you see?
At the north end of Renton, at the place called The Landing. There was hundreds of people there. There were so many people. There was virtually no parking at The Landing.
Damn.
Oh, so it's like when Avatar came out.
The first one or the last one?
Either, really.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't know. I never saw the second one.
I never saw the second one either.
I started watching the second one on Hulu and then quickly lost interest and started doom scrolling.
Yeah, the first one was all right. I felt like it was overrated.
I think what really got people excited about it is because it was like new technology and there was a new way of storytelling. The problem is the story itself was recycled and reused and
it's another white savior story.
Yeah. I mean, it was basically Dances with Wolves and Fern Gully mixed in with Smurfs.
It felt like a pop-up book for adults. The story had no substance to it. It was just about the cool tech. Well, I remember coming out of that film thinking the two most memorable things from that movie to me were, one, the tree and the 3D tree and how it was in your face when you're sitting in the theater. And then the other part was just a scene where there's a line of soldiers in a spaceship, and it was the first time I'd seen a line of soldiers in a movie, and it's like, oh, there's depth. Like, it looks like a line of people. I'm like, wow, that looks real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was visually stunning. It was just.
I think
It was just. I mean, like I said, Fern Gully is a great example. It was Fern Gully with aliens.
I think the best review I ever saw about this, there was a guy he did these movie reviews as a transient individual. It was called Bum Reviews, and you go on to YouTube and search Bum Reviews Avatar, and he goes, "It's the most original movie I've ever seen." It was the most. It was because it was basically Fern Gully meets Dances with Wolves meets Giant Smurf Cats. Is what he said.
Which, by the way, Fern Gully, that movie has soul. That's a pretty good movie.
Because it has Robin
Dances
Williams.
with Wolves is amazing. Like, I always think Dances with Wolves is some long, slow, boring ass movie, and then like I tune it in, and it's like, yes, it's long and slow, but it's gripping.
I mean, I love the movie, but I do know the problematic kind of nature of movies like that and stories like that, which is everybody struggles until a big, strong white guy comes along and rescues everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, is that what that movie's about? I thought it was more about him adapting it to the native culture and.
But then they're all struggling with the fights until he comes along with his white man skills and military training and guns and saves everybody. You know, I mean, that is not the most egregious example of this, but it is definitely a white savior type of story.
It definitely is, and I've heard people say that before as well, where it's just like, white guy comes to save the indigenous people. And I heard someone say that James Cameron's great at taking children's movies and making them terrible adult movies.
I'm not gonna knock. I love Dances with Wolves on a personal level. I think it's a great movie, but
that's not James Cameron, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying as far as my viewpoint of the movie, I like it too. It's a good movie.
And I think that reference was talking about like the Fern Gully connection, because there's a scene in the movie it's directly lifted from Fern Gully. The scene,
I feel like we can Fern Gully. Oh yeah, sorry.
The scene from where the giant bulldozer,
Yes, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, I mean that was definitely lifted from Fern Gully. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with it. Yeah, it definitely was. I remember that being. I think we give Fern Gully a pass. I mean, as well, that character kind of does learn. The white guy does learn the error of his ways and becomes an environmentalist, supposedly, and all that stuff. Also, it has Robin Williams, and how much can you hate any movie that has Robin Williams in it?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It always surprises me when his voice comes up. I'm like, oh, snap.
Yeah, I know, right?
I think it's also the first time we hear him rap.
I mean, I don't think he was known for his long-term rap career, but
you must have missed the album that him and Will Smith put out called The Genie Raps.
Shaq cameoed on it. Y'all remember when Shaq did that? Remember Shaq had a rap album?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Diesel something.
I can't hear the name of it. I just know certain things that shouldn't exist.
I mean,
all right. Well, let's look into. I wanted to look here about how the No King stuff went all across the country. So I pulled out a BBC. I pulled out the BBC. That's
Giggity.
is that
the British Broadcasting Company?
Oh, I thought you were talking about your wife's favorite toy.
No, Jesus.
I'm kidding.
This is a BBC article on millions turned out for anti-Trump No Kings protests across the U.S. So huge crowds took part in No Kings protests against Donald Trump's policies in cities across the U.S. on Saturday, including New York, D.C., Chicago, Miami, and L.A. Thousands packed Times Square, holding up slogans like "Democracy, not monarchy," "The Constitution is not optional." Did you have a sign when you went to Renton, Todd?
I did not have a sign, but I had I sacrificed one of my T-shirts and put "No Kings" on the front with a frog, and on the back I put in FDT.
I love the fact that frog has become the symbol of this.
It's pretty great. And
I do.
Also kind of not in the best way, in the sense that we are all frogs being slowly boiled into authoritarianism.
I think that's probably why they picked the frog too. Somebody told me that the frog's name was Todd, actually, and I was like, "Really?" And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, that's cool. I'm cool with that."
Todd the mace-proof frog.
I've never been. It makes me. I want to go into a whole Mitch Hedberg thing now. Maybe it'll settle near me and I can pet it.
Yes, I've never seen it come up to me. I had a frog jump up to me and been, oh crap, a frog.
I better play dead. It's always been more optimistic.
Here you guys go.
I will put you in a mayonnaise jar with a leaf and a twig to recreate your natural habitat.
Yeah, and I'll put some holes in the jar because you're damn sure used to air.
Because he damn sure likes to breathe.
There you go. You can see my shirt.
But there we go. We've done the whole bit now.
I know. I do. I mean, who doesn't love Mitch Hedberg though? I was so sad when that man died.
It was one of my darkest days. I was hoping it was some sort of sick and twisted April Fool's joke.
Oh my god, I know.
He's like really known for like his deadpan like puns and like observational humor, right?
Kind of, sort of, but he was known for like
one-liners.
I said that's good. Yeah, one-liners, really clever one-liners. Funny thing is, you know why he wore the glasses?
No,
because he was stage fright
or blind.
Super stage fright. No, he had severe stage fright. If you look, a lot of times when he wears those glasses, he has his eyes closed.
Oh yeah.
Because he doesn't want to recognize.
Oh yeah, he had huge anxiety issues. I mean, that was kind of part of. I remember reading about it after he passed, and like one of the reasons he kind of like slipped back into heroin is he was terrified. He was suffering anxiety that his jokes weren't funny anymore.
Oh my!
He wasn't coming up with funny stuff anymore.
I have some stories about him.
And you kind of get that sense like when he's doing Mitch All Together, like when he's recording stuff for Comedy Central. If you watch the raw footage on the DVD,
we did like an hour and a half.
He does like his 45 minutes, and then he does another 45 minutes of his older stuff, and like he's getting better reactions in the back half, and he like does this whole thing of like my old stuff is better than my new stuff, and that just kind of like that always stuck with me. Like I think that is something that he was, especially after I heard about the anxieties he had over his jokes.
Oh,
like
wow.
I think he was afraid that like he was, he had already done the best jokes he was gonna do, and nothing was as funny as it used to be. And
yeah, I mean,
honestly, I think that's just something that happens as you age.
There is that imposter syndrome that always steps in with comedy all the time too.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I used when I was doing better in comedy. I got into so many shows where I would bomb because I'd be at venues and events where I would legit be like, I don't belong here. What did I do to deserve to be here? And that gives you severe anxiety, of course.
Well, every time I stopped doing comedy, it's because I was not writing new material that I was excited to share, and I couldn't go to an open mic with like the same comics that see me every time doing the same jokes every time. Like what got me excited to go out and do comedy was having a new joke that I'm like, even if it was just one joke and I was going to do everything else was going to be the same. Like, it's like, oh, I've got this one new joke and I can't wait for people to hear this.
Yeah.
I never wrote as much as I should have.
Same.
Well, yeah, my writing was always inspired writing. It was never like, sit down and write.
Yeah, same with me. When I was doing that stuff, I was writing things down that I heard people say. I was like, oh, that's fucking hilarious. They're not a comedian, so they're not gonna care.
Yeah,
mine was like my own. Like I'd say, like I'd be in a situation and I'd like say something. I like have a thought and I'd be like, "Oh, that's fucking hilarious!" Like I should write that down and have it be a joke.
Let me clarify. I wasn't stealing like funny things from people. We were
surfing the internet.
No, seriously, I was having conversations with people. I was like, "Oh, that's fucking hilarious," and I would try to like reword it so it wasn't like direct quote from so and so said this. I thought it was hilarious. I want to share it with you guys.
You were on Carlos Mencia's Instagram.
Well, I feel like that's fair.
No, because that's like using AI. You're robbing from the people he stole from.
Why would I steal from Carlos Mencia?
Like third-hand jokes at that point.
What was funny is I saw him on his No Strings Attached tour because that was like the height of his TV show.
Right.
And I saw him and Brad Williams open for him. And the last time Brad was here, it was at the same theater. And I said, hey, last time you were here, I saw you. He goes, that was when I was with Carlos. I said, yeah, that was a show. And I swear, I think that I want to bet that the DDD joke that he used to do, I bet you he got that from Josh Blue.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that at all.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know Josh Blue's timeline to know if that's a reasonable crossover.
I'm just saying I could just believe Carlos could steal from anybody. Carlos, yeah.
I think Josh
I'd
was on
forgotten
his
about
show.
that DDD thing.
Josh was on his show a number of times, so I'd imagine he was probably a writer, and he probably wrote the joke for the show based on something he did in his stand-up. And I saw Josh at the comedy place that used to be in Kirkland, that's now in Seattle, and
Laughs,
Laughs, and he was super funny. But
yeah, I knew Josh Blue. Like, I think I knew him from whatever season of Last Comic Standing he was on.
First or second season, I think. Yeah.
And it was he was funny. I mean, his whole act is about his disability.
Yeah.
Which
fine.
is that's his prerogative. It's fucking hilarious the first few times you see him. I don't I haven't seen him enough to know what he's doing now and what I would think of him now.
He does jokes still about being handicapped, but he also does jokes about being a dad and divorced.
Right, but it's like when they say like women just joke about their vagina or being crazy, and it's like sometimes it's like if they're good at it, like if it's funny, does it really matter?
Yeah, and it's what they know, right? It's you joke about what you know. And if you're, it's like Ralphie May or what was the other?
And what women know is being crazy.
Yeah, Ralphie May and I'm trying to blank on the other large comedian, other than Fluffy. There's three.
Like Earthquake or
no, the white dude.
It's not Ralphie May.
No, it's not Ralphie May. He did jokes about the buffet and going on the Epcot Death March. Fucking hysterical joke.
Is it did he have a TV series like a cop sitcom?
John Panette, that's his name. And,
I don't know him by name.
Oh gosh, he's he was in I think the third or fourth of the Revenge of the Nerds movies. He was like the fat British kid, but he's not British though. It's a funny thing. But he.
Oh, does he look like a grown-up schoolboy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He looks like he kind of looks like that.
Was he part of Jackass?
No, different guy entirely.
Okay.
Yeah, just go on to YouTube and search John Panette buffet, and you'll find that bit. He's like, "Show me the buffet," was one of his taglines, and it was he was hysterical. He had a joke about he goes, I have problems with gas, and one time I was sitting in the back seat of my friend's car, and I let one go ever so daintily, and he crashed the car. And when the cops showed up, he says, "Alcoholic gas," and they pointed at me. I thought it was hilarious, and I'm probably not doing it any justice.
Oh, I think I remember this guy from he was on like the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
Yeah, a number of times.
And like the first thing he says in his bit is like, "Sorry, I was late for my last." What the fuck does he say? It's like it fucking killed me from the word go.
He had died from like complications with diabetes, I think. So about 10 years ago. Diabetes. My name is Wilford Brimley. I'd like to talk to you about diabetes.
Every time I hear diabetes, I always have like diabetes.
Diabetes.
It's a terrible disease.
I have it, so yes.
But goddamn, if diabetes isn't one of the funny, I don't know why to this day hearing him say it like that just cracks me up.
Because he's saying it incorrectly, and it's fucking hysterical. You know what's funny is he was in the movie Cocoon. He was 45 years old. He looks 65.
And I've seen that movie once a long time ago. Yeah, he was already old back then. So I mean, he only died like 10 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, it might be longer than that. Was it like 10 years ago?
Yeah, it was like within the last decade. Yeah.
Really? Damn, he was old as hell when he died.
Yeah.
The reason it's funny to me is because he was like the spokesman for the Diabetes Foundation, and he couldn't say the word diabetes.
Diabetes. I've never been able to say it correctly because of Wilford Brimley. All right, we should probably
God,
get back on topic.
I know. We're just making fun of
Sorry,
Wilford
Doug.
Brimley. Doug? Oh,
No,
there
it's
he is.
okay. I just gives me time to drink. I'm very drunk today. I
Are you-
drank a
are
lot
you-
during that Mariner game.
Was it a stressful game to watch? Is that why you were drinking so much?
No, I just needed to do something to wash down all the meat and cheese I was eating.
You didn't have any water at home?
Water? No, not unless it's been run through the still. So I do want to. I'm going to switch over to this NPR article. It's 3 takeaways from Saturday's No Kings nationwide protests. So again, NPR has lost its federal funding. If you do have the money to donate, we definitely recommend sending a little bit NPR's way every month. If you subscribe to Netflix or Disney Plus or any of those things, you should probably throw a couple ducats towards NPR each month, because we need that sort of journalism right now more than ever.
Yeah.
This is not a sponsored. This is not sponsored, by the way.
Yeah, they can't sponsor it. They don't sponsor it.
They
so,
can't
yeah.
sponsor us because they got defunded.
Yeah.
So organizers said about 2,600 No Kings events were planned across nearly every state, and it projected a bigger turnout than the 5 million it said attended the previous action in June. I know Saturday midday they were already saying 7 million people came out this weekend. So here's a recap of how the protests unfolded from NPR. Number 1, united in protests to protect America. Protesters showed up to oppose a wide range of issues, including the administration's immigration tactics and its push for federal and military intervention in Democratic-led states. The diversity of concerns was strung together by the broader messaging of democracy, constitutional rights, and the freedom the U.S. was founded on. In D.C., demonstrators filled Pennsylvania Avenue, which is near the Capitol, and 1500 Pennsylvania Avenue is the address of the White House. They were holding signs: "No kings, no tyrants." Many wore yellow. Excuse me, I'm gonna have to sneeze here, I think. 1 second.
Achoo!
Choo-choo.
Whew, sorry about that.
Yep.
So Urea Kitchen of Delaware, that's Urea Kitchen of Delaware. That sounds like a pea restaurant. But that's the person's name. I'm very sorry. But attended the protest with their son, told NPR, "We made a Pledge of Allegiance when we were in school." And this is like following the Pledge of Allegiance. Bernie Sanders of Vermont addressed the DC protesters, slamming tech billionaires who have become richer and more powerful. Basically, they're all jockeying position to become Trump's oligarchs.
Yep.
On the West Coast in San Pablo, California, Maria Floriano attended an O Kings event with immigration on her mind. Wearing a hat and shirt decorated with butterflies, she compared immigration to butterflies and said, "Migration is beautiful and an act of courage." The second point that NPR makes here is the Trump administration and Republican lawmakers weighed in this weekend. So, of course, leading up to the weekend, it was all about how this is Antifa sponsored and it's the radical, violent left that's going to be coming out, and this is going to prove how violent we are and how unruly we are. And of course, we went on to have again a perfectly peaceful protest where the only controversy I saw this weekend was a MAGA lady posting on Truth Social or Twitter or whatever it was that she went to a protest in her MAGA hat and was completely ignored because she's such a savage. That nobody wanted to mess with her.
People didn't care.
Because it was a peaceful protest.
I know. It's funny
But don't you love how they do this though? It's like, oh, they're going to be violent. Oh, they weren't violent. Oh, that's because they're scared of us.
Yeah. Yeah, they want to be the victim so bad every single time.
Well, that's what their game has been. I don't know, since Bush era, but it's just been. But really, because once George Bush famously mentioned that he was concerned he'd be the last Republican president ever, and so they've been so desperate that all they've had basically from the Tea Party onward is grievance politics, just moving everyone's focus from one grievance to the next and never actually having to deal with any kind of
government.
Never dealing with current events really as they are, just moving everyone's attention from grievance to grievance.
Yeah.
And so what the Trump administration and Republican lawmakers said, House Speaker Mike Johnson slammed the protests as Hate America rally, which, again, these are all people that are so fucking in love with the concept of American democracy that they're taking to the streets to protest. These are not like Death to America rallies. These are what the fuck have you done to our country rallies.
Yeah.
Another White House spokeswoman, Abigail Jackson, just responded to NPR's questions about the protest with "Who cares?" Trump was not at the White House. What's that?
No, then who cares? What the fuck?
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, okay. I mean, I guess that's the best you could do. If I was in power and there were protests happening, I'd be like, oh, ignore them, I guess. If you're literally just taking the position that you're in opposition to them and you're not trying to actually be a governance for everyone.
Yeah. What an insane
peaceful
thing.
Peaceful protesting with song and dance. Despite the many criticisms that anti-Trump protesters came to preach, there were displays of optimism, hope, and whimsy in several cities. Inspired by protesters in Portland, we saw people in LA, Hartford, Connecticut, elsewhere show up to march in inflatable animal costumes.
And we got those in Renton too.
Salt Lake City. What's that?
We got some of those in Renton too. We had frogs, we had unicorns, we had giant inflatable rubber chickens. The best one though was the baby Trump, and it was an inflatable baby costume with a Trump mask and the tiny hands on the fingers, and it had a book that said Epstein files on it. And then
that Trump baby inflatable is actually the cover image for the BBC
this is
article.
not that inflatable Trump baby. This is a inflatable costume that's a baby costume. They were wearing a Trump mask with it.
Oh, shit, that's even better.
Yeah, I know, right?
I think I have photos. I'll send it to you guys.
And then NPR goes on to note that the protests were largely peaceful. Police in New York City and Washington D.C. Said no protest-related arrests were made. Glenn Youngkin of Virginia and Greg Abbott of Texas mobilized their state National Guards, but obviously they weren't needed. So that's NPR's take. I did find a take from a guy from Reason magazine saying what he saw at today's No Kings rally in New York City. I can tell you probably because the Reason is a libertarian magazine. I guess I don't know if they print anymore, but it's online. And it's very libertarian, so I imagine they're going to be like, oh, it was a peaceful protest, but what's the point of this? What are you hoping to accomplish? That's kind of what I'm assuming this is going to be. But it comes from Nick Gillespie at Reason magazine. And then what I saw at the No Kings rally in New York City. So
there you go.
He says he has no strong interest in attending the march in New York City until he learned from White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt that the Democrat Party's main constituency is made up of Hamas terrorists, illegal aliens, and violent criminals. And from Speaker Mike Johnson, if you think about what's going to happen, you're going to bring together the Marxists, the socialists, the Antifa advocates, the anarchists, and the pro-Hamas wing of the far-left Democratic Party. Once I heard this, I was in, he says. Who wouldn't want to see such an unprecedented and vile political rally? So the march, designated an anchor event by the No Kings group itself, was set to gather at 11 a.m. at Father Duffy Square, smack dab in the middle of Times Square, and just a few blocks from the author's apartment. So from the statue honoring a bellicose Catholic World War chaplain, demonstrators would march down to 14th Street, and then, well, nobody I asked seemed to know what would happen next. I had covered a few Black Lives Matter marches back in 2020 and was eager to see who showed up, what sort of signage dominated, and what the vibe of the whole thing was, especially given the darkly dire warnings of Leavitt, Johnson, and others. They are not alone, of course, in suggesting that violence is likely whenever Democrats or opponents of the president gather. Stephen Miller, he is fond of saying that the Democratic Party is a domestic extremist organization and that they should be prosecuted as such. Ted Cruz, senator from Texas, has been prophesying violence for the weekend. And Charles And the TLDR version is that there is a palpable anger and disgust at Donald Trump in the heart of his hometown. This isn't news, of course. Trump lost the Big Apple by 38 points, but combined with generally weak approval ratings and declining approval of his handling of key issues like the economy, the very fact that nationwide protests are happening is something he and his supporters will not be able to wave away as astroturfed opposition coming from Soros and anything pro-Hamas. So he encountered a 40-something man toting 2 of his kids in a wagon, walking with his teenage daughter. Helped the man zip, and then he said he helped a different man zip up his inflatable frog costume, called himself a liberal, and was mostly concerned with the way Congress had been abdicating its responsibilities. No King's Marchers were also out gathering before this. This article is not like going anywhere.
I know.
I love it when that happens. I always sound like a complete idiot when I run across those. When I try to read that out loud.
The messaging, both through science and in conversation, was focused on the real and imagined personal failings of Trump. I don't know what the imagined ones are supposed to be. Whenever I asked someone what they hated about Trump, the answer was almost always the same thing: everything. This was true of men and women, young and old, black and white. When pressed, they would detail a list of personal qualities and moral failings. He was gross, vulgar, a rapist, disgusting, vile, fat, stupid, mentally deficient. No one seemed particularly fazed by tariffs or spending, though some signs denounced ICE as an agency in dispatching National Guard troops to cities. Well, I don't know why people would be fazed by spending, but I think people are perfectly fazed by the tariffs. It's just, we hear that all the time. I think if you're going to ask somebody on the street what's wrong with Trump, I think the first thing that comes to mind are all his personal qualities. So the fact that that's what people you randomly ask rattle off, like, I don't think that's any kind of like, oh, they don't even like him for the right reason. Like, he seems to be coming off from this like they just like Trump for the wrong reasons. They aren't technically sound enough.
Yeah. I get that vibe that he's saying right now. You're right with how you think that's going to be a libertarian take on this.
So yeah. I put on screen that photo of the inflatable costume with the Trump mask, and they're talking to someone holding a Pee Wee German sign.
Pee Wee German.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious.
And this guy also, he says the one exception to the lack of specificity was about Israel. There are a number of signs twitting Trump and not Netanyahu, accusing both of genocide.
I mean, yeah.
And then he tried to ask people, didn't Trump end the war? And I'm like, I mean, that didn't even last to today. Like, it's already, that ceasefire was already turned out to be fake, just like the last one.
I knew it was fake when the second they wouldn't let the aid in. I'm like, so they aren't really trying to end this because they don't want.
Exactly. Yeah, and they're like, oh well, Hamas isn't getting the dead bodies out fast enough. You mean the ones that are buried under rubble that you created, Israel? Like,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So they can't have their aid because you're not getting the dead people that probably you killed by bombing the place they were held. You're not getting them back fast enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always a farce. So this guy did talk to cops. He said he asked them if they were concerned about violence, and no, they weren't. So ultimately, this guy's upshot is it was a beautiful fall day, and everything the Republicans said was wrong. But boy, these leftists are they're just all in their feelings, and they're just out here because they hate Trump and not because they really know anything.
Yeah. I think the only people that were in their feelings are the Republicans when we didn't react the way they wanted us to.
Exactly.
Yep.
And it's just like, well, what are you supposed to, like, how come on January 6th, like, the libertarians are defending them as being all caught up in their feelings, right? They're like, oh, these people were caught up in their feelings. you need to respect that. Like, you need to step back and think, why would a bunch of Americans do this on January 6th? Like, you need to take that into consideration. It's always understanding for the bigot and never and higher standards for the leftist.
The onus on for a while has been on the left to always be like the bigger person, and I don't know why that is.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's something I've always run into in my own life, and it comes from being somebody that espouses the rules. Like, if you're somebody that talks about following the rules and talks about having rules and enforcing rules, like, people expect you to follow them. But if you present yourself as someone who thinks the rules are tyranny, and therefore when you get power, you don't have to follow the rules because, well, that was your position was against them. And it's just like, it's how like the bad boy gets away with way more than the nice guy does. That's kind of the same thing with Democrats and Republicans.
There we go. Yeah, that's true. I can see that.
All right, but now this is a I think everyone told you so story here now. I just told you guys about this one right before the show started, but the California Highway Patrol cruiser and part of Vice President J.D. Vance's security entourage or security detail was on I-5, Interstate 5 in California, was hit by shrapnel from 155 millimeter round that was fired as part of the 250th birthday party for the Marine Corps.
Don't they call it the 5 down there though?
Maybe. I don't know.
The 5. That's in California. That's the 5 or the 405 or the whatever.
I think, yeah. And the 5 is also a show on Fox News that isn't really worth watching except for Jessica Tarlow. But no, this is some amazing. Like, this is like they are who we thought they were. The Trump administration is exactly who we think they are. So they were firing off live rounds as part of the 250th anniversary of the Marine Corps. And thank God Gavin Newsom, when he heard this announced, right, when they announced that they were going to fire live rounds as part of this celebration, Gavin Newsom shut down I-5. And what happened is a California Highway Patrol cruiser was struck by shrapnel Saturday after an artillery round fired during the anniversary event exploded prematurely over I-5. A mishap officials described as unusual and concerning. You don't say.
A little bit.
So the explosion occurred. Excuse me for a second. The explosion occurred during a highly contentious ceremony attended by VP J.D. Vance and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth at Camp Pendleton, which is a base in San Diego. The exercise featured live ordnance and aerial displays, was meant to officially commemorate the Marine Corps' 250th anniversary and unofficially serve as a counterpoint to the nationwide No Kings demonstration. So, Chip said debris from an artillery round detonated overhead prematurely, striking and damaging a CHP patrol vehicle. I read a different article that said basically it sounded like they were being peppered with BBs, and then a 2-inch piece of shrapnel hit the hood of one of the vehicles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like that could have killed somebody. 2-inch shrapnel's a fucking serious deal.
Yep. What a dumb thing.
The
stupid calls they make in this admin.
Yeah. And then Gavin Newsom announced earlier that the state officials would close part of the freeway on Saturday for a few hours because of safety concerns. Thank fucking God. Following the incident, CHIP officers notified the Marine Corps, which halted further firing over the highway and swept the area for hazards. It's just like the total like Steve Urkel, did I do that response to this whole thing. They'd seek an after-action review, literally, and did I do that?
What? Like, why do they want to do this in the first place so bad?
To distract from the No Kings protests. Like, that's literally what this was all about.
Yeah. They're like, look at how big my dick is.
Oh my God.
It was just America. It's America. Fuck yeah.
America. Fuck yeah.
And then from Yahoo News, California Governor Gavin Newsom bashed Vice President J.D. Vance on Sunday, saying he was reckless to move forward with the celebration of the Marine Corps a day after the vice president's security motorcade was hit by shrapnel from a prematurely detonated shell. The New York Times reported the 155mm shell was fired during the commemoration, dropping fragments. No officers were hurt, but two others officers said a 2-inch piece of shrapnel hit the hood of their car. We love our Marines and owe a debt of gratitude to Camp Pendleton, Newsom said on X. But next time, the VP and the White House shouldn't be so reckless with people's lives for their vanity projects.
Oh, and I got a message from someone listening. They said that in California they refer to as Highway 5 or the 405 for the other ones.
Yeah. But this is just like, Jesus fucking Christ. They're so, like, this recklessness is what they're doing with everything with the Doge and the
okay.
whatever it is. And like, it's just all recklessness. Everything they do is just fucking reckless. And but most of, like, you know, honestly, the stuff they've done with firing people and ending subsidies and things like for healthcare and things is like, that's going to kill more people obviously than this did. This didn't kill anybody, but it's a perfect case in point of how fucking reckless they are.
They're just dumb. It's idiocracy.
It's like our government's being run by a bunch of douchey fucking frat boys.
I
Exactly.
know, right?
Yes.
Guys like Chet or Biff.
Todd, do you want? So we have a couple of news items that are related to musical artists premature. Well, at least one premature.
Well, both of them are premature. I think. The big one was.
Do you want to tell us about them? Is what I was getting at.
Yeah. The big one was the founding member of Kiss, Ace Frehley. Frehley, however it's pronounced, I don't fucking care. I know lots of people who like get all butthurt over that. I'm sorry. Anyways, so yeah, he died at the age of 74 on Thursday in Morrison, New Jersey. His death was announced by his family, which said he had recently suffered a fall in his last moments. We were fortunate enough to have been able to surround him with loving, caring, peaceful words, thoughts, prayers, and intentions that he has left this earth, and his family said in his statement. I don't know. It took me a few days to really kind of let that sink in and realize what kind of impact he had on me. Because when I was 8 years old, I was a huge Kiss fan because they were basically comic book characters come to life. And as an adult, I can't stand the individuals in the band other than Peter and Ace. But as a kid, I loved their music. The first LP I ever bought was Double Platinum, and it was like their best of. And it's definitely sad because he was an amazing guitarist. He was the first one. I think he's the only one, with the exception of the guys who replaced him, that had like used a smoking guitar as a prop on stage when he's playing guitar. He just starts doing his, solos and stuff, and he has like a smoke bomb inside his guitar case, or not the case, but where the pickups are. He took one of them out and replaced it with like a smoke bomb or whatever, and it started smoking as he's playing. He also had fireworks shooting up the neck of the guitar as well. It's another thing he did. He wrote all the best songs from Kiss in the early days.
I did not know that.
Yeah. He was one of the writers, anyhow. He wrote some of the better ones. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things, I guess.
Yeah, he always, like, seeing Ace Frehley always makes me think of the Weezer song "In the Garage." I don't know if you guys know that song, but
I don't. But I'm sure that there was probably visuals of Ace in posters or somebody dressed as Ace.
Yeah, he's got posters on his wall. His favorite rock group, Kiss. He's got Ace Frehley. He's got Peter Criss.
Yeah, and a lot of the other members of Kiss have all come out and said something nice. The only one that I don't buy is Gene, because Gene and Paul both have said some pretty gnarly things about Ace over the years, and they've never been really really truly nice to the guy. The guy suffered from drug and alcoholism. Drug
Ace
addiction and
did.
alcohol. Yeah, he had a lot of problems with drug and alcohol, and he's I don't know how long he's been sober, but he'd been sober for quite some time, and you know, and yeah. But the other death in music news is the bass
Is
player for Limp
Yeah,
Bizkit.
maybe a little bit more shocking.
Because he is 48 years old. His name was Sam Rivers. Um, this is what it says here. Longtime Limp Bizkit bassist, backing vocalist, and co-founding member Sam Rivers has died at the age of 48. The news was shared by Limp Bizkit through the Instagram account. The band shared their statement announcing Rivers' death. He was a once-in-a-lifetime kind of human, true legend of legends, and his spirit will live forever in every groove, every stage, every memory. Cause of death has not been given.
Yeah, that's everything I've seen does not say what the cause of death is, which it makes you think
Yeah,
overdose or something like that.
usually when something like that happens, it's an overdose or some other medical issue that wasn't publicly known, so they're not gonna like talk about it. So, um, but yeah, I'm curious as to what kind of fall Ace had that would cause him to like die a month later. So, you know, so
Yeah, I know like you fall and break a hip or something like that. It can be fatal. I don't know why that is. I think it's just when you're that frail and have to go into the hospital.
yeah,
Because when you break something, you still bleed, and when you are older, your blood doesn't clot as well.
maybe that's why he just yeah.
Yeah.
So well, either way, those are the celebrity deaths for this episode. God, it's fucking sad. Let's talk about some other things that are not so depressing, huh?
Well,
Um,
yeah. You want to get into the geek stuff, or did you want to, or
um,
did you want to do it? Or was there another story you had in mind?
I mean, these other ones that I put in here, these are like if you guys wanted to talk about them, we could talk about them. They don't really need to be talked about.
Well, we
Um,
should probably touch on the Young Republicans leaked chat.
oh yeah, that was
Oh
definitely a huge
yeah.
thing last week. Right after we recorded, that was all over the fucking internet.
Yeah, and again, this is another case of they are who we thought they were. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
it turns out that young Republicans, who by the way are all range in age from like 25 to 35,
right.
they're not kids,
They're not
they're
kids. Yeah,
adults.
yeah,
They're all horribly racist and definitely white national.
yeah,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Those texts were disgusting.
I didn't even read the text, but just I heard some of the things that was said. Somebody else who read them, so I didn't have to. uh, and yeah, like wanting to bring back gas chambers and you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
hailing the little mustache guy from Germany, all that
It
shit.
yeah, it's basically like if you've ever been on a if you've ever seen the worst of YouTube comments, it's like that in a chat group.
Yeah, yeah. Think of all the most racist shit your uncle has ever said. It's probably worse than that.
Oh yeah, it's all that. Like it's literally it's the guy in my when I was a freshman at UW, and my roommate's friend walked into our dorm room on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and
Uh,
literally said he hung in the doorway and said Happy N word Day. Like, and he didn't say N word. He
yeah.
said the N word. He
He
just
said
said
narwhal,
Happy.
right?
Yeah, right, right. And like I had headphones on and was listening to something, and I didn't want to get in a physical altercation right then. I was literally my first quarter. Well, not my first quarter. It was January, but uh, I was a freshman at UW. It was my roommate's friend. I was just minding my own business on that one. And thank God my roommate turns around and goes, "That's not cool," because like that's it should have been so much more than that. But like I to this day I am still mad at myself that I didn't get into a physical altercation there. Like
Yeah.
I
Well,
like
I'm
that's
glad you
but that's
didn't
this
because that
energy.
would have probably ended badly for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even that. Yeah. That's. I mean. Yeah.
But he was a young Republican. Like This is who they are. This was 20 years ago, 21 years ago. Oh no, January of 2005. So literally 20 years ago, 20 and a half years.
Oh wow.
Like it's the same fucking people.
They literally said they liked Hitler. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
And then JD Vance defends him. Like he's like, "Oh, it's just kids saying
35-year-old kids."
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like
boys will be boys.
If anybody on the left, like if any young Democrats, like if you found out David Hogg was sending texts that said Jew me and kike me, he'd be fucking slaughtered across all the media. Like he would never be able to show his face again. And like nobody would defend him either. He would be thrown under the bus immediately.
Well, no, completely. No one on the left worth a shit would defend him. You're right.
No. And now the vice president of the United States is on like chimed in. He didn't have to chime in.
Yeah,
he chose to chime in.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to get too far with that. I didn't want to go another week without saying anything about that.
Yeah.
It's just these people are who they say they are. This is why when my local politics group tries to get me on board with their, well, but shouldn't you want to hold the local Democrats more accountable? Like, don't you dislike it that they aren't being super transparent and answering all our questions? And I'm like, I wish they were more transparent. But if the alternative is these racist assholes, like the competition has to get better before my expectations of the Democratic Party raise. At this point, I'm just fighting for a more progressive movement that the Democratic Party has to appeal to. Like,
oh yeah.
Like I'm not going to sit here and expect the Democratic Party to be just like I'm not going to expect the Yankees to be so much better than the Red Sox. They're only going to be better enough to beat them.
Yeah, I mean the Democrats are still essentially a right wing,
Yeah, center right they're a pro capital center right organization.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So they're better than the Republicans, but not by a whole ton. I mean, at least they don't want ICE, so that's a big one right there.
And then I also heard about this story that Todd found, which is the Kremlin wants a tunnel from Russia to the U.S.
Dude, that just that absolutely sounds like something you'd see in like an old like 70s era Jesus Christ brain Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Let's dig a tunnel to China or some shit.
Well, it does say it's an idea that's been around since at least the 1950s.
Yeah, you could build it because Alaska is really close to Russia.
15 miles, right?
Did you guys hear about? And in the winter, it freezes over, and you can technically cross it on foot. Did you hear about the guy who's walking around the world?
No, I saw a video of a guy who's biking around the world.
Yeah, no, this guy he's walking around the world. His only rule is no transportation.
Huh.
And so when he started he's from England, and he flew to the southern tip of South America, and he started walking north. He fucking crossed the Darien Gap. He went up north through North America up the west coast, and then went across the Bering Strait when it froze over.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah, it's insane. And it's taken him 25 years, and he's getting close because it took him 11 years to get from Russia to the other side of the Caspian. Because he had to get a visa where he couldn't stay for more than a week. So he'd walk for a week and then fly back to his starting point and then fly back to where he left off and then walk for a week or whatever the time period was.
What
and
the
he
hell?
kept having to go back. Yeah, back and forth. And then he got to the Caspian Sea and he couldn't go north back into Russia or south into Iran. So he had to swim across the Caspian Sea.
Wow.
Oh God.
Yeah.
How far is that?
Yeah, it's a long ways. I don't know. But he did it with the support boat. So he swam for a few hours, would get in the boat, and then swim more, get in the boat, and then the boat just wasn't allowed to make any progress when he was in it.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
So I guess it's reasonable to have a tunnel across the Bering Strait, but why do we want it?
Well, I mean, The Russia wants it so they can control it and have a way over through.
Senator Magnuson of Washington has a bold new idea for linking our newest state, Alaska, with Siberia via a bridge or a vehicular tunnel across the 30 to 40 mile stretch. It would go from Wales on the tip of Seward Peninsula to Little Diomede and Big Diomede Islands, thence to Piak, Siberia. The senator forecasts this hookup within the lifetime of the present generation to create a rail and highway route between points as distant as New York and Paris. I am convinced, he says, that the tourists who one day will drive this route will be our best ambassadors.
Yes, because that's where we want to go. Fucking buttfuck Siberia.
Yeah, to get to Paris.
Yeah. Like,
no thanks.
Yeah. Out of all the places people don't want to go, Siberians don't want to be in Siberia.
So I want, like, is this just going to be the new boondoggle for the Boring Company? To, like, this is just their new thing to hold out there, saying, like, invest in us, we're going to do this? The next hoax, like the Vegas Loop?
I mean, literally be the worst thing in the world, because literally what's out there, it's all just deadlands, right? It's all like just, the only people that benefit from that is Russia, who could easily then mount a offensive.
Yeah, the story they're trying to say here is, like, you could, like this guy walking across the world, it would allow you to take a train, theoretically, from, like, New York, across America, north through Canada, across Alaska, across the Bering Strait, across Russia, all the way to Paris, theoretically, right? Like, you could take a train around the world at this point. Which, okay, cool, but not worth it. Not when we have aircraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and the place they're sending through, going through that area of the world, Siberia, and that's the reason why it's been uncontested forever. Nobody really wants to live there.
You can pretend like it's Snowpiercer.
Yeah, it's like I wouldn't trust any transportation over that much wildland. Like that is a long way.
Yeah, how are they maintaining that track? How are they?
I mean, is the track going to be underground going through there, or is it going to be going above it? What's the deal?
Theoretically, I think the underground is just across the ocean, like across the strait. But, like,
yeah, I doubt you'd want to dig that tunnel the entire way across. I mean,
that way you can bypass Russia altogether.
Well,
I don't know. Underneath Russia, that's probably just hell, right?
Yeah, that's probably.
No, that's China. Waka waka waka.
You get Russian hell.
and so that Russia, hell fucks you. Yeah, whatever.
Oh no, it's the Russian hell is, you know, an American and a Russian die together in a tragic accident, and because they died together, God gives them the option to go into Russian hell or American hell. And the American, being a proud American, says, "Well, I'm going to American hell, of course." And they says, "Well," and he goes, "You know, either place you go, you got to shovel shit for the rest of eternity, right? Like, that's the punishment." And he goes, "Well, I'm an American. I'm going to American hell to shovel shit." And the Russian goes, "Well, I'm going to Russian hell." They meet up sometime later, and he goes, "Why'd you want to go to Russian hell?" And he said, "Well, because in Russian hell, half the time we don't have shovels, and the other half the time we don't have shit."
Oh, God. Oh, wow.
And I think that's a good enough note to wrap up the news for the week. Let's take it to this What's Geek this week.
All right, here we go.
Welcome to What's Geek this week. Your go-to for the coolest in pop culture tech and nerdy news. Let's dive in.
All right. Yes, I got a few stories to pick from here, guys. Let me pull this back up. First thing I have here, because it's October and we're 2 weeks away from Halloween, you got to have some movies to watch with your kids, right? Or maybe not kid-friendly, but still.
Well, I was going to say, are these kid-friendly or not?
Well, the image on there made me think they were kid-friendly because it shows, like, Jack Skellington and fucking Scooby-Doo. It says 15 best animated movies to watch during Halloween. The imminent arrival of Halloween means it's time to plan some creepy horror movie marathons. Well, many focus on the exclusive live-action spooky films, which we have, blah, blah, blah. There are a whole world of animated terrors that are just waiting for Halloween to watch. Some are for kids, some are for adults, some are hand-drawn, and others animated by a computer. Well, All right, so let's get to the movie titles here. We got number 9 is the name of the movie, not the number that's in this list. Um, is The End of the World as we know it, but there comes 9, a ragdoll who wakes on Earth after all her life has been extinguished. The culprit, an AI created by native humans in the hopes that it would foster peace. I remember watching this movie. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was actually a really cute movie. I didn't realize it was AI related, but okay. Let's see.
It sounds like the horror version of Wall-E or something.
Kinda, yeah, actually, kinda, yeah. The next one on the list is Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman. I don't think I've ever seen this. It looks like it might be the Alvin and Chipmunks from the 80s, from the image here.
80s or 90s for sure, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely the one. That's definitely the Theodore from the 80s. So, this is far removed from the above film's bleak setting. Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman has a fun unleashing some spooky fun for everyday suburbia. The film is a follow-up to the previous year's Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet Frankenstein, and both are entertaining riffs on both Universal Monsters and the classic horror comedy mashups by Abbott and Costello. Yeah, cool. Didn't know it existed. May have to go look for it. The next one on the list is Coraline. If you've never seen this movie, it is really fucking weird, but it is absolutely kid-friendly. It is strange, though. Coraline and her... I'm sorry, go ahead. Doug?
Well, I was just saying it is strange. Yeah, it's like a nightmare.
Yeah. Coraline and her parents have moved to a new home in rural Oregon that the girls soon discover something odd in the house's wall. There's a doorway to another dimension, and while it all seems lovely at first glance, something dark is afoot. Yeah, no, it's kind of like a mirror universe where everybody has like button eyes. It's really creepy, but not like scary creepy. And then this next one I've never heard of, but it's called Mad God. It says an assassin drops down into the bowels of a living hell with the purpose and a bomb. He reaches his destination, but victory won't look like he imagined it. Phil Tippett, master of stop-motion animation and visual effects behind permanent fixtures in pop culture like Star Wars, RoboCop, Jurassic Park, and more, takes a serious turn with the nihilistic nightmare that is Mad God. The film offers a litany of brutal scenes, and as creatures are tortured and slaughtered without respite or hope of salvation. This doesn't sound like a very kid-friendly movie, so don't show your kids this one. All right, next one on the list, and I think this might be, there's one more, two more after. Okay, several more after this.
There's actually 15, but we can just do the first few, and then people can check out the rest of the list.
I'll list them off, and you guys can look them up for yourself. Monster House, Nightmare Before Christmas, Paranorman, Perfect Blue, which looks like it's an anime, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, Seoul Station, and that's Seoul like Seoul, Korea. Looks like it's an anime. Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust, which is also an anime. And then we have Violence Voyager, Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were-Rabbit, Watership Down, which is an old school animated movie from like the 70s, Wicked City, and that is all of those movies. All right.
And this is a weird list that's like, some of it's very much kid-friendly, like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
And some of it's very much not. Like,
yeah.
Like Wicked City.
Yeah. And then the next thing we're just gonna kind of talk. Hulu is going away. Okay, it's not going away 100%, but it is being absorbed by Disney Plus. So the Hulu app will stop working, and you will have to go into Disney Plus to watch Hulu stuff. And that will happen in next year. Does it have a date? It just says 2026. So, and it says The Disney Plus and Hulu bundle is priced at $10.99 a month, while premium ad-free version, which allows offline downloads, costs $19.99 per month. All right. And then I had a couple here. They were so small, I just kind of bundled them together. 3 most painful horror movies that I'll never get over, according to Ben Hathaway of comicbook.com. We have the 2010 version of Nightmare A Nightmare on Elm Street, which stars the guy who was Rorschach in that one movie. I can't remember his name.
Are you talking The Watchmen?
The Watchmen, yeah. He was also Kelly in the original Bad News Bears. That's number 3 on the list. Number 2 is Jaws 3. That's the only Jaws movie I actually kind of liked because it wasn't as terrifying as the first 2. Because it was so bad. It was 3D, guys. It was and it was old school 3D. You know, the glasses that were like yellow or red and blue. Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh, Jaws 3D. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jaws 3D. It was absolutely god awful. And number 1 on the list.
That thing was me sending you a dick pic.
Okay, cool. I'll have to wax to it later. Number 1 on the list is Scream 3, which is one I don't think I saw this one. Unless it's the one that had Jay and Silent Bob in it, then that's the one I saw. But Scream 3 is available on Hulu. So if you want to watch it and see how bad it is, there you can watch it. I think all of the Scream ones are on there, I think. All right. Let's see. And the 3 nostalgic sci-fi shows that every 80s kid remembers. Number 3 on the list is Voltron, Defender of the Universe. Great show. Thundercats, the original Thundercats from 1985. Also a great show. And my personal favorite, Transformers, or as the fans know, Generation 1. Yeah, all 3 of those shows, I have them in my collection and I watch them frequently. It looks like South Park has decided that season 27 or 37, whichever it was, it's 27, I think. Yeah, it's 27. Is only going to be 5 episodes. So the last episode that aired last Wednesday was season 28, episode 1, and it says here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they decided to start the new season already. This is what it says here. 27th season was surrounded by controversy even before the episodes landed on Comedy Central. With the arrival of the latest installment on October 15th, many were stunned to discover that we were no longer in season 27. Instead, the season had ended and the latest installment, poking fun at the likes of Donald Trump, Peter Thiel, and J.D. Vance, kicked off season 28. While the official statement has yet to be released by Matt Stone and Trey Parker regarding the change, an official representative had some words to share regarding to the shortened season. In speaking with the Hollywood Reporter, the representative of Stone and Parker stated that season 27 was always meant to be 5 episodes long, with the season 28 looking to be the same, while many fans assuming that 27th season would be 10 total. Comedy Central had never billed the installments released this year as being part of one season. Luckily, fans. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead and finish the story. Sorry, I thought you were.
Sorry, I'm my brain is not wanting to focus here. Luckily, fans won't have to wait too long for South Park's next episode, as it's been confirmed to arrive on Wednesday, October 29th. While the story of the upcoming installment remains a mystery, the release date being so close to Halloween means that there's a strong possibility that Paramount series is about to get a little spooky. And they've done a bunch of episodes that are like Halloween related, and those are always good ones too.
So what does a season mean? Because like it seems irrelevant for them to call this a new season. Like it's still the same freaking like it's still fall. Like
Right.
it's still in proximity to the other episodes. Like what does it mean that it's a new season? Is that just some sort of contractual trick that Paramount is pulling in order to accelerate their new deal or something? It's like, "Oh, we agreed to 10 new seasons, but that's going to actually be 2 seasons a year."
Yeah,
It's
yeah, it is a very weird thing.
it could be a contract thing that they're trying to like expedite the contract so they don't have to drag it out. You know, that sounds like a possibility anyway, because considering how Paramount is probably the brunt of a lot of the jokes, at least in the first few episodes. But
Yeah, and just having, having them so like you're creating them within the same prox and releasing them within proximity to each other. It's, this is all one season as far as I'm concerned. Like it's weird.
yeah. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing the last episode. It was all about this 6-7 thing, and I'm totally confused by it. But that could be because I'm a Gen Xer and I don't know what's going on.
Well, I have no idea what that's about.
So apparently it's an ongoing running joke with kids today. I don't know.
Brain rot, and it is with the kids. Like my kids are always threatening to say 6-7, and like apparently if you say it, like they yell it back or something like that.
Well, throughout the whole episode, Cartman would like Linda Blair vomit every time someone 67 of any variation on 67 or 6 and 7 or 6-7. He start cackling like a madman and just like, "Blah!"
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, it was weird. So I just saw this thing today and I was like, this is cool. And for those of you that like Star Wars and are into video games, you can get all of these Star Wars games that I'm going to list off here for $20 for every single one of these games. Not one, the price on each game, but all of these games. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games. So we have Jedi Knight, Outcast. We have Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, Jedi Knight Mysteries of the Sith, Republic Commandos, Starfighter, Clone Wars, Republic Heroes, The Force Unleashed Ultimate Sith Edition, Force Unleashed 2, Dark Forces, Knights of the Old Republic 2, Sith Lords, and Empire at War Gold Pack. And then the last two are Battlefront 2 and Knights of the Old Republic. You get all those games for $20 in the next 2 days and 18 hours at the time of this recording. So go to fanical.com and search for Star Wars. You can get all those games for $20 on Steam. And if I was to get paid before that date, I would absolutely buy that because there's like 3 or 4 of those games that I don't have. And the last one I have here for What's Geek this week is George Lucas confirms something a lot of Star Wars fans won't want to hear. Basically, the gist of it is after he sold Lucasfilm to Disney, he has no say and doesn't want to have anything to say about Star Wars. He's not going to have anything to do with Star Wars. He's not going to have. He's not even going to have Star Wars in his museum. That's part of the thing. He's working on this museum in California. It's going to be about a bunch of other things, nothing to do with Star Wars. He's basically
Nobody's gonna go. It's like George Lucas Museum. It has no Star Wars. So what is it, like American Graffiti and Indiana Jones?
Yeah,
it's. Let's see what it says here. It's been 15 years since George Lucas sold Lucasfilm to Disney, and with that, all things Star Wars. In the years since, Star Wars franchise has grown massively with the release of the sequel trilogies and various TV shows, The Mandalorian and Andor. But while Star Wars has grown, fans have a mixed response to the explanation of the Star Wars universe at times. with some even hoping that Lucas might come back to right the way they deem to be wrong with Disney's version of the beloved galaxy far, far away. However, Lucas is putting his final word on the matter, and fans aren't gonna like it. Speaking with the Wall Street Journal via IGN, Lucas says he's moved on from Star Wars. Instead, he's now focusing on his latest project, the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art, which is set to open next year in Los Angeles. A museum is decidedly not about Star Wars. Disney took it over. Quote, Disney took it over and they gave it their vision. That's what happens. Lucas said of Star Wars, of course, I've moved past it. I mean, I've got a life. I'm building a museum. A museum is harder to make than making movies. You know what? Cool. If I ever get down to Southern California again, I might check it out. I won't be too disappointed if there's no Star Wars because I can always go to the Galaxy's Edge.
That's true.
And the Galaxy's Edge is pretty fucking cool. I legit had like an emotional, like, I was overtaken with emotion. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I started crying like a kid with a skin knee and shit, to quote Jane Silent Bob. All right, that is everything for What's Geek this week. Are you guys ready for some Floriduh or not?
Let's do it.
All right.
Oh no, here we go again. A barefoot guy robbing a gas station in the name of Gavin Newsom. Call the police, arrest the Florida man. Is it Floriduh or not? Is it Floriduh or not?
All right, so I pulled these today. Most of I think I got off of Reddit, but first one here is woman accused of reversing into an officer leads to high speed chase. Do you think this is Florida or someplace else?
That could be anywhere.
Yeah.
It could be anywhere, but it's got the panache of Florida. I'm saying Florida.
I'm going to say not Florida.
All right, Doug, you got this one. Woman accused of reversing into officer leads in high-speed chase from Coral Springs to Sunrise, which are two places I've never heard of, and I'm sure I've probably read about them before. According to Coral Springs Police Department report, Torwin Breon Reynolds, 23, of Hollandale Beach, was driving eastbound on West Sample Road around 10 p.m. on October 11th when an officer observed her allegedly commit several traffic violations near an intersection of Coral Ridge Drive and Sample Road. There's a lot of shit here. I don't want to go read through all this shit. Basically, so she bumped into him or something, and then yeah, stupid people from Florida. What can you say, right? All right. Let's see here. What else do we got? Next one is... I didn't edit that right. Oh, well. We'll skip that one. Man claiming to be ICE agent arrested for DUI with children, deputies say. What do you guys think? Do you think this is Florida or not?
I say Florida.
Say that again.
It says, man claiming to be ICE agent is arrested for DUI. I guess, again, kids were in the car with him.
Oh, I heard this story. It may have been Florida, but it could have been anywhere down there.
I think I heard I think I heard it was Florida too. I think I heard the story as well.
A Miami man claiming to be a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent was arrested for allegedly driving drunk in the Florida Keys while he had two young children in his vehicle, deputies said.
There's video of it, and he's like slurring all over the place, and he's...
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, you have to cop if they're Haitian.
Yeah, he's like, "Are you Haitian?" And the cop's like, "Doesn't matter."
Oh, I have seen that video. Yeah. He's I didn't realize.
What?
I didn't realize that was the same.
Yeah, no, it went viral the other day.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday, I think.
Um,
All right, next one on the list here is woman spends over $200,000 on 400 plastic surgeries over
let me see that
15
story,
years.
actually.
Do you think that woman is from Florida or not?
200,000 on four. I'm in the U.S. Like I'm in like the fucking. Where could you get 200,000 surgeries if for 400,000? If I'm 400 surgery for $200,000, what's she doing for what? That's like.
I mean, people do go to other countries to get surgeries done. That doesn't mean they're from that area. Do you
That's
think?
true. It's just like I feel like just to go under for surgery in the United States, it's at least $1,000. So I can't imagine a $500 surgery or what that would look like.
200,000
Um,
in 400 separate plastic surgery procedures over a period of 15 years.
I mean, I feel like that's got to be Florida or LA, right? Like Florida or Southern California, right? Like it's got to be one of those two.
I mean, I want to say it sounds Florida as fuck. The 400 plastic surgery sounds Florida as hell, but it's that price. I feel like in Florida, 400 plastic surgery would be like $2.5 million, some shit like that.
So what are you saying? You saying it's not Florida?
I mean, I'm gonna say Florida, but there's gotta be something else that's going into this story.
I'll go ahead and go not Florida.
Okay, so you're both saying not Florida?
No,
Actually,
Brandon's saying
yeah.
Florida.
I'm gonna say Florida. Let's say Florida.
Okay, so you're both saying Florida.
That's
A South Korean woman recently went viral after receiving this, revealing that she spent 300 million won, which is 210,000 on about 400 cosmetic procedures during the last 15 years. And honestly, she doesn't really look that much different. She just looks a little older to me. If you look
she doesn't look that much different.
Yeah, if you look at the photos, her nose is a little narrower, but everything else about her looks relatively the same. $210,000 on 400 separate surgeries.
That's actually. Oh, saying also like just cause I was also thinking some dermatology stuff, so that could just be like, yeah, like application of something. Okay, so that explains it.
Fixed her nose, probably tweaked her mouth.
A couple $100.
Yeah.
Like if we're in America, you need a surgery for less. Like a single surgery in this country is like $5,000.
This last one broke me. I had to walk away from the computer. Woman allegedly changes her eye color while pregnant, so her child will be born with blue eyes.
That sounds Florida as shit.
What do you think, Doug?
It also sounds like something you would do like in like a place where blue eyes are super rare. So I'm going to say not Florida.
Okay, so Doug says not Florida. Brandon, you're saying Florida?
Yeah.
Okay. A young woman went viral on Russian social media after claiming she had underwent a procedure to change her eye color during her pregnancy so her baby would be born with blue eyes. Apparently it's like a laser surgery that like fucks with your cornea or some shit and changes the pigment. And she thinks that...
How does that affect the baby, though?
This is what it says. Well, according to a Russian cosmologist who recently changed her eye color, I think this is the woman who did this, they certainly can because the DNA will be automatically rearrange itself. This is why it broke me. I was like, that's not how DNA works.
Yeah, that's not how that works at all. Holy shit.
I had laser hair removal before I got pregnant, so my children would be born hairless. One woman commented on Instagram. God.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's
just wow.
You know that's what color contacts are for, man.
I mean, yeah, I worked out a ton when I was pregnant so that my baby would be born buff and totally ripped.
The baby was born, I was like, do you even lift, bro?
How much you bench?
I can bench.
I benched the whole placenta, man.
I benched my binky yesterday and didn't even break a sweat. when I read this, I'm like, this, oh my god! And as I kept reading, I realized it wasn't just someone who wanted. They weren't just gonna like put in contacts. They actually did a procedure to physically change their eye color to another color, and I was like, they really believed that doing that would change their DNA so that the kid would be born with blue eyes. Actually, now I think I need myself a shot of whiskey. I don't have any. I don't have any whiskey. Oh well. But next week, guys, I get to meet Elvira.
Oh, do you now?
Yeah.
So you're going down to the which con is that?
This is Washington State Horror Con. This is happening at the Puyallup Fairgrounds, at the State Fairgrounds here in Western Washington.
And just to be clear here, Elvira's going to be there because it's Horror Con, not because it's Horror Con.
Horror, as in there's gonna be 3 different Jason Voorhees actors there. There's gonna be the kids from
Voorhees Con.
Ooh, yeah. There's gonna be all the kids minus Finn Wolfhard from the It movies, and the 2 bullies from Hocus Pocus are gonna be there.
Oh, nice.
I think a couple of the other people from Hocus Pocus are gonna be there too. Not Bette Midler or the other 2.
Do you think it's sold out?
You can still get tickets for all 3 days. Yeah, as of today, anyhow.
Go ahead and drop a link, and we can put that in the show description as well. And I might talk to my wife about going to that. You said it's next weekend, or
it's this coming weekend. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm definitely going to be there on Friday, but me and my friend Shannon are also talking about maybe trying to get tickets for Saturday because all the cool panels are going to be on Saturday. And I want to at least see.
I definitely cannot go Saturday, but I'll look into maybe we can go Friday. I'll see about that. Maybe we'll meet you down there.
I'll put the. See here, HTTP. Hold on, let me make sure I have the correct address.
I feel like I'm watching Ghost Rider as you type this into the Google Doc.
wahorrorcon.com/admission. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I love having a shared Google Doc and then watching other people type shit. So the family pass is $100, dude. So you, your wife, and your kids can all go for $100.
Wahorrorcon.
But yeah, no, this is its sophomore year. It was a brand new con last year, and if I end up going on Saturday, I'm gonna be dressed in my Ghostbusters gear, full pack and everything, and at least that's the plan.
Oh yeah.
So.
Because you ain't afraid of no ghosts.
I ain't, and one of the lawyer guy from Ghostbusters 2, Kurt Fuller, I think is his name. He's gonna be there. He's the one that put them in the loony bin in the second movie.
I don't know the second movie as well as I know the first one, but
so just to give you an idea of the guests we have Cassandra Peterson, also known as Elvira, Linda Blair, Chris Sarandon, Jack Skellington himself. We have Don Mancini, the director of all of the Child's Play movies. Jamie Kennedy, Denise Crosby, Kane Hodder, best known as Jason Voorhees, Brett Wagner, Leatherface, Lee Waddell, Ghostface, Bonnie Aarons is the Nun. We have a couple of wrestlers, Darby Allin, Dustin Rhodes,
Darby,
the Boogeyman, Fiona Dourif, the daughter of Chucky, basically the voice of Chucky. She's also in the last 2 Child's Play movies. We have Ashley Bell, Robert Patrick, the T-1000 himself, Alyssa Sutherland. She was in the last of the Evil Dead movies, Evil Dead Rise.
Did you say that one director directed all the Child's Play movies?
Yes, he did.
I am shocked to hear that. Like I could
Me
not.
too.
I would not have guessed that.
I legit thought somebody else did the last two because those ones were not nearly as entertaining as the first 5.
Yeah, I just figured any kind of horror franchise, like eventually the guy who started it, like was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm on to other stuff, and they just hire whoever's cheapest, whatever,
Yeah.
to pump it
So
out. Like
they also have 2 of the ladies from the TV show Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Charisma Carpenter and Ashley Lawrence. We have the guy Tom Morga, who is both Jason and Michael Myers.
oh,
Let's see here.
no wonder I always got them confused.
Right. Andrew Robinson, not related. I'm assuming.
Oh, cousin Andrew, yes.
Yes, he's probably best known for playing Garrick on Deep Space Nine, and a bunch of horror movies like Hellraiser, Pumpkinhead 2, Puppet Master, Dirty Harry, Jag, and Child's Play 3. Let's see who else. As far as people that you might recognize, Michael Biehn. The guy from the first Terminator movie. They went back in time to try to save Sarah Connor.
Yep.
He's also known as Rico from Tombstone, and a bunch of other things as well. There's basically Michael Gross, the dad from Family Ties and the Tremors movies. He's gonna be there, and who else? Oh, and the voice, the kid voice of Charles Lee Ray's doll character Chucky. Wanna play? That guy. Tracy Lords is going to be there. And the body double from Psycho that was in the shower when she got killed.
Oh, that person's still alive, huh?
Yeah, Marley Renfro. And there's a bunch of other names that I don't know who the hell they are. And Tobias. Oh, yeah, he's one of the 2 bullies from Hocus Pocus. Tobias Jelinek. He was the blonde, long-haired dude, not the doofy-looking one. But, what else?
Sounds like it's going to be quite the con. Like, they definitely have, like, a who's who of horror coming out.
Like I said, there's like 3 or 4 different actors who've played Jason. Here's also Bruce Davison, who was the Senator Kelly from the first 2 X-Men movies. Kari Wurr, who was on Sliders. And what else was she on? Eight-Legged Freaks, Anaconda, Thinner, Hellraiser 2, Swamp Thing.
Oh, hey, we actually have a message in the live chat.
Oh,
it's
do?
JP. Hey, JP, you actually caught us live.
Oh yeah.
At the tail end of the show, man.
Better late than never.
What's going on, JP? So yeah, those are some of the people I was kind of like hoping to see. I don't know if I'm going to get any photographs or autographs because all that shit's expensive. I think Robert Patrick wants $100 for a professional photo op.
No.
Yeah.
Hell no.
I mean, if I had the $100 to burn, I probably would actually go ahead and pay for that, but I don't have the money. I liked him in the TV show Scorpion, and he was actually really good in Peacemaker, even though he plays a kind of a despicable guy. Of course, he was.
That's a show I definitely want to get into season 2. I need to watch that.
Yeah. But yeah, that will be this weekend at the Puyallup Fairgrounds in Puyallup, Washington. And there's also going to be a car show there. Where is the information about that? I remember seeing something about anyhow. Elvira's car is going to be there from her movie. And I know for a fact that Ecto 360 is going to be there. That's the local Ghostbusters group's car, and then I think the car from Supernatural is going to be there as well. I don't remember the name of the car, but it's going to be there.
The car from Supernatural?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never seen that show.
Dean's,
This is all stuff my wife loves. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'd
Dean's
heard of
car.
it, but I never. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, right on. Well, I think that's going to be something cool to check out. I'm going to try and get there on Friday. And I definitely encourage everybody listening to, if you're into Halloween film and pop culture,
Just
like you
horror-
definitely want to check this out.
Horror.
Horror.
Yeah.
But that'll do it for the show this week. Another great one, guys. We'll come back next week. We'll talk about HorrorCon. We'll let you know if the Mariners have lost in the World Series or even made it there. And we'll have another slew of stories for you. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts. For Todd and Brandon, I'm Doug. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye.